Hey everyone, I desperately need a shower. I just finished my lunch and I'm going to be coming at you in a little bit with something else, but I was just watching my Ultimate Portion Fix video as I was eating my lunch, and I wanted to share a quick little story with you about maple syrup. It's something that I learned from a dear friend who's on here, and I won't name names, but you'll know when you watch this. That I never realized that a lot of people don't know about maple syrup. And when I was watching this video, it made me think about it. So in the Ultimate Portion Fix, she goes through lots of things. But in this video today, we were going through the grocery store aisles, specifically the aisles in the middle. And she was helping us understand, the best things to choose for our health and for our families. And we stopped at the syrup aisle. Oh, I really need a shower. And we looked at the maple syrups. And she was pointing out which syrups are best to choose. And so I want to tell you this. I'm from Vermont originally. And I had a girlfriend who was staying with me once. And she was so proud to be like, look, I brought some maple syrup. And she was like, and it's, oh no, so this was like one time she's like, I brought some maple syrup. And I looked at it and I was like, that's not maple syrup. And so, I had some maple syrup and I showed it to her. Here's like the real maple syrup. And then later on, it was years later, I went to her house and she's like, okay, Erin, now I have maple syrup. It says real Vermont maple syrup. And it did. It said real Vermont maple syrup on the front. And she said, and it's even sugar-free, because we were following Portion Fix. And it did. It said real Vermont maple syrup. Then even on the back, it said made in Vermont. And it said sugar-free on the front. And so I was like, what? Because I will tell you this, there's no such thing. And so I turned it over and I looked at it, and there's this lengthy ingredients list. Some of which included high fructose corn syrup. And so I explained to her, I said, you know what, actually, maple syrup never has an ingredients list. Maple syrup is just maple syrup. So, I realize for people who have not grown up in Vermont or Canada, maybe have never experienced maple syrup, real maple syrup, which is the healthiest and which is what we use when we're following portion control. And in a lot of the recipes you might be seeing in following your meal plans right now, and if you choose to go with the Ultimate Portion Fix. So real maple syrup is going to be healthiest for you. It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it. Here is how real maple syrup is made. It is made from maple trees. So they tap a maple tree, they stick a hole in a maple tree, and they'll run a line, usually a rubber tube, and it pulls the sap. The sap drips out of a maple tree, and they boil down that sap. And that sap turns into syrup. That is maple syrup. Nothing gets added to it. Nothing. So the ingredients, when you turn over a bottle of maple syrup, should say maple syrup and nothing else, okay? So if you have a bottle when you go to the grocery store that says real Vermont maple syrup and it says sugar-free, that instantly is a red flag. There's no such thing as sugar-free maple syrup. It is impossible. And also, if you turn over a bottle of maple syrup and it has any kind of list to its ingredients, it says anything other than maple syrup, then it is not real maple syrup and it's not what you want. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Go and enjoy some maple syrup. And then here's another thing that, I heard in my Ultimate Portion Fix video today that is really helpful. Real maple syrup is expensive because it's a challenge to make, right? They're tapping maple trees out in the forest. These are farmers that are doing it. And so it's expensive to make, and so it's expensive for us to buy. But really, you're not using much of it. A tablespoon at the most. I wouldn't even use that much. And the recipes that you're cooking, they're already sweet enough as it is. You know, the real fruits and vegetables, they taste so good, you don't need a lot of maple syrup, so it will last you forever. So it actually is not that expensive. Alrighty, have a great day. See you all soon.